Hi, today I will share my thoughts about the mental health, and I will tell you how I got to the mental health center. So it was the winter, February 2023, and I had problems with my husband, and my mental health got worse and worse. But still, I could do all housework. I cleaned the house. I cooked for the whole family. I could satisfy basic needs of myself and of all my kids, and I read even books to my kids. So at some point I just believed that the situation wasn't safe for me, and I called 911 and I told them that I'm under emotional abuse, and I looked with my baby. So my third child was a baby at that moment. She was 6 months, and I looked with my baby in the bedroom. And when paramedics and the police came, my husband opened the door, the front door. And when they came to my room, they started talking with me not as a victim of the emotional abuse. They started talking with me as I had some problems. And they just offered to go to the hospital with them, to the emergency room. And then from the emergency room I got to the mental health center, and they diagnosed me with a postpartum psychosis. But actually I believe that I didn't have any psychosis. Yes, my mental health was just poor, but still it wasn't psychosis. And now what I just think. I believe that only the psychopath can develop schizophrenia. People on the higher levels, even sociopath and narcissists without psychopathy, they can develop only psychosis. I believe that people develop psychosis step by step. They just go down each level. For example, first they go to the lower level, to the psychopathy, and then they go to the psychosis. And again, antipsychotic pills can just go up people to the psychopathy level, but then they go to the other levels by themselves. For example, if a person was on the individualization level when he was or she was when he or she was 4 years old, they will return from the psychosis to the individualization level. As I was when I was 4 years old on the psychopathy level, so first my mental health dropped to the narcissist level, then to the psychopathy level, and then it could drop to the psychosis. But I believe that I didn't have psychosis. And then again, people get healthier the same way. First, they are the psychopath, then they are narcissist or sociopath. So I became a narcissist, and then I returned to the individualization level. So in the mental health center, I was I had fears on the first day. Actually, on the first night, I had fears about my baby because I never pumped, and she used to drink only my milk, and she never used the bottles. And I had the fear that she could be hungry. And I believe that fear was so big that I just went up from the psychopathy level to the narcissistic level. So I stopped, so I experienced that fear. I stopped being a sociopath and a psychopath at the same moment. And actually, that fear had the grounds. Then I found out that my baby didn't want to drink anything from the bottle. So she didn't drink formula at all. And the next day I pumped the milk, my breast milk, and she started drinking only my milk from the bottle. And it took about maybe 3 days when she actually moved from my breast milk to the formula. So it was a very difficult process, and for both, for my baby and for me. It was very difficult to realize that I am in the mental health center and I can't breastfeed my baby, and I just had the strong intuition that she suffered without my milk, and she really suffered without milk for the whole night. She was hungry until that moment when my husband brought my breast milk to our baby. And then I already left the mental health center, and I believe that I still was on the narcissistic level. I can say that there was some bright characteristics, but still I just feel that just the movements of my mental health. And it was one situation when my husband started blaming me that it was my guilt that I got to the mental health center because I bad wife and so on and so on. And at that moment I felt such a big shame, as my mental health wasn't very good. And I was already depressed by that moment. I felt like shame, yeah. And at that moment I felt the shame that maybe, yeah, I wasn't a very good wife. Maybe, yeah, it was my guilt that I got to the mental health center. I even started crying. So, and I believe that at that very moment when I realized that shame, I just moved from the narcissistic level to the individualization level. So actually I just returned to my level. But I actually think that if there are no provocative situations, people can just stay on the psychopathy level, and without those provocative situations, they just can't return to the level they used to be before they started feeling bad in terms of the mental health. Thank you. Bye bye.